this computer. All right. Yep, recording. Okay, so, all right, so there's 3 ways to get bums on seats at events, right? If you run an event and you have a speaker there, mostly the speaker will rely on the host to get the people in. And they're sitting there going, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. I get to speak at this event, right? Assuming that they'll turn up to this like full gallery of people. Now, the problem, let's say the host is amazing and can get a full gallery of people, say 20 plus people, right? The problem becomes they're all the host's people. And so when the speaker comes in, the speaker is brand new to that audience. And so the speaker can do an amazing job. Let's say get Tammy Horton. She's going to do an amazing job. Hands down, everybody is going to love her. But audiences in general go, wow, that was so amazing. I'd really like to connect, but she's probably busy and, you know, doesn't have time for me. So even though the speaker gives out all the information, I'm here, here's my contact details, contact me. And because it's the very first time they've heard them speak, they get a bit anxious with, oh, well, I'm only a little person and, you know, like I could go there, but let me see if I can find someone who I kind of know that does it, right? And that's because it's all of the host's audience, right? So the key becomes encouraging the speaker to bring in an audience too, right? So you, the host, brings in the audience and then get the speaker to bring in your own audience. So people who know who you are. It might be clients that already work with you. It could be part of your network that's very aware of you. It could be people that you really need to hear that message to help move them across the line. And what happens is when the speaker brings in their own audience who already know the speaker, whether they've bought, whether they're a client or just a network or a potential client, because they know the speaker, they're sitting amongst the people writing things like, Tammy is amazing. I've talked to Tammy before. Tammy is so easy to talk to. And that, the speaker's people, helps the new people understand that they can just call her whenever. So that's 2 ways, right? 1 is leave it up to the host. 2 is the speaker drives bums on seats. But the gold card for getting bums on seats is get the speaker to bring in people and get them to tell you as they're doing it, you know what, I've invited 13 people. I've sent a message out. I've done it this way. And when the speaker starts trying to drive traffic or invite people in, it makes the host work really hard for the speaker. But now both of you are looking to see who turned up, Did this person turn up? Has this person signed up yet? Did this one do? Who's on your list? Who's in my list? Who's already signed up? Well, I don't know that person. And it allows the speaker and the host to start collaborating with that group. So sometimes even when somebody signed up, even if they bought a ticket, it's no guarantee they're going to turn up on the day. What's interesting is buying a ticket means, well, I've paid for it now, but if I don't turn up, well, you know, I've paid for it. So no harm, no foul. And it allows the person who bought the ticket to get out of the training. They almost need to buy the ticket after the fact to make them turn up to the training. But if they buy the ticket, then sometimes they come up with the excuse not to turn up. But if the host collaborates with the speaker beforehand as to who the list is, say, here's on the list, here's who's already currently coming, and here's their contact details. Share their contact details. After all, they're your people. You can do what you like with that list. You share their contact details. It allows teach the presenter to write to them one time, go, oh, I'm excited that you bought a ticket and you come into the event and I'm excited to be speaking to you. Notice it's not, I'm excited that, and you could almost do this as a cut and paste, give them the script. It's not, I'm excited you're coming to hear me speak. Because they might be, but they might actually be excited to go to your event. And I'll get the speaker as well. So I'm excited that you're coming to, you know, Brenda's event, to this event. And I'm excited that I have the opportunity to speak to you at Brenda's event, right? And so that means that they're going both ways. And it also means that their people that they bring in become connected to you as well. because it's not just them being connected to the speaker, you want them connected to you as well. And so it allows that cross collaboration. But now, if you don't get that chance to go, you've got to come, can't wait to see you, can't wait to see you. If you don't get that chance, the speaker can do it. And between the two of you. So I did this with Janine Hunter the other day with Women in Business Connect, the Central Coast meeting. I was the speaker, right? And for a week beforehand, I kept saying, I'm going to recruit, going to tell everybody, I've got to tell everyone. And I'm rubbish on Facebook. So it's not like I put up a post and then I'm driving traffic to Facebook and post it. Right. So I physically write to people. Hey, I'm speaking. Hey, have you been to Women in Business Connect? Hey, have you met Janine Hunter? Hey, here's a group for you. I kept planning on doing that the day before the meeting. So it's a good 24 hours. So the meeting was at night. So it's about 36 hours beforehand. I actually had the opportunity to sit down. Sometimes this works really well because people don't write anything in their diary and plan stuff in advance. So it was like 36 hours before the event. I just wrote a list of people. I went through my list of who'd been, because I've been to that meeting before, who'd been to that meeting before, and I went to them first. Hey, you coming? Then I went to people that in another event that I run, went through, thought, who are the new people that could do with expanding their network? And also they've seen me host, but they know that I run training, but they haven't been at a training. So I went to those ones and said, hey, you should come. So it'd be good for them to hear the message, be good for them to meet Janine and then be part of a bigger network. So that was who I went to first. And there was about 30 people. So I'm writing and saying, she come, can't wait for you to come. I hope you could come. Here's the link if you can make it. Here's the ticket, here's time. Send that off. Then I go to Janine, who's on your list? Who's already booked in? How many people have tickets? I've just written to 30 people. If these people start to sign up, they're the ones that I've written to. Janine, the host, turned around and went, well, I had 5 that I'm pretty sure are going to sign up, but geez, I better start writing to people, like I'll stop everything and start doing that now. So between us, within this, we started writing to people very fast and hard for about an hour each. And the tickets started to go up. So over the next 24 hours, the tickets went from 5 to 17. And honestly, that's as hard as we worked. It was really not a huge amount of work. And then, later I'd be cooking dinner, 12 hours later, I'd be cooking dinner and I think, oh, you know who I should tell? But I've already written that letter to other people. So I only had to copy it and send it across, go, oh, hey, this would be a great meeting for you to come to. And so your brain starts to think of some other things too. But by telling Janine, all right, I'm really working hard now, it made her go, I better drop everything. See, no host wants to be outdone by the speaker, right? It's like, well, the speaker brought in every single person. I don't even know who they are, right? So that then when that list comes through, it allows her that chance to go, oh, I'm so excited that you've got a ticket. How did you find out? So that makes her come up with a new way to engage with the group, each people in the group. But then by me having that list, I could go back and remind people to turn up as well. So then I was able to, send a message. There was a few and I said, oh, I can't wait to see you. I'm so excited that you come in and I get to speak at Janine's thing. And 2 people wrote back and said, I don't know that I can organise the kids. I'm going to have to listen to the recording. But at least now we've already got a conversation and a rapport happening. Like, I'm sorry that I missed you. It becomes my follow-up, speaker's follow-up, right? Because again, the speaker can speak. If the speaker doesn't learn to do follow-up at the end of it as well, and so it's your job as the leader to teach them, if you follow up before, if you recruit them in, and now you get to follow up afterwards. I'm so excited that you came. I'm so pleased you came. Here's my one that I do. All right. I'm so excited that you're at this event and that I was able to speak to you. What was your number one takeaway from my talk? And that has them go back and rethink about your talk and has them now engaged as well. And that's it. Again, just a little script that you can write and say, this is what I want you to send out one at a time. They've already put their contact details in the chat. So as long as you, the host, encourage them to put their contact details in the chat, and mind you, the speaker can do it too. And but how I get people to put contact details in the chat is say, make sure you put all your contact details in. You're here because you want more work. If you don't advertise yourself in the chat box, you're not going to get it. Make sure that your email address goes in. I will make sure that I email the chat box to everybody at the end. So if you drop out, I'm sending it to you, but only if your email address sits in the box. So make sure your email address, and now suddenly email addresses show up, because it's really quite frustrating when people don't advertise themselves fully. That gives you that chance, but then it also means that the speaker can now go back and say, what was your take home, what was your take home, what was your take home? And so from that, they get feedback on their talk after the fact. They get engagement from the people that were in. They're already friends. So we've got like 3 to 7 exposures by the time the end of the meeting. As one is, oh, hey, I'm excited that you're coming. I'm glad I have the opportunity to talk to you. They've already spoken. And then the speaker can follow up with what was your take home? That person's writing back. So now all of a sudden, there's a number of exposures with each other, and then everybody feels like best friends. So now that's great for the speaker, because it means that that other person's already engaged with them as well. And notice it's not anything like, can you give me feedback? It's like, what was your number 1 take home, or your top 3 take homes? What was your top message that you got from my talk? So that they're looking for, oh my God, there was so many things, but this is what I liked, and it makes the audience replay it, which makes that whole talk so beneficial.
Now, what about the recording? Do you send the recording out to people who can't make it?
Yeah, send it out. Yeah. Put it on YouTube. Do whatever you like with it. I never send any recordings, but I mean, I don't for a purpose send recordings. That's because I have to work out how to technically chop that and then send it out. So to me, it ends up like too big. So I don't do that. And I don't have Dropbox, so I don't do any of those things, because technically that's just too much energy for me. And I'm amongst things where I've got so many different people talking all the time. I personally have just made a YouTube channel, and my job now has become chop out that and just chuck it up on YouTube. I actually don't have a bother if people paid to be at an event, but then they hear the speaker later for free. Like if a group of people, let's say some people paid to be into an event. I said to Janine the other day, she had me speak, right? And so a group of people paid to be there. But I said, if you chop that out and chuck that straight up on YouTube, sure, that's now available to the world if anybody even sees it in the first place, right? I mean, unless you drive traffic to it, nobody's going to find it anyway. So you could just literally put it on YouTube and then drive the people who weren't there, right? The people who are coming, yes, they might be paying money to go get the ticket. They're also paying money to be engaged with that group. So you don't send the chat box. The chat box is actually more valuable as a paid thing. Really paying for the chat box and the speaker and you comes second to the chat box for the networking and that opportunity of encouraging them to meet the people in their group and in their network. That's really...
And your sessions are so participatory that the other thing you're paying for is the ability to be able to actually participate in
That's
it.
right.
If you're just watching the recording, you can't do your blurb. You can't get feedback from you on what they said. Correct.
So when I run group sales classes, right? So I have my group sales classes. I have people who are in the group, and then they'll say, I didn't make class. Can you send me a recording? No, I can't. I can't for many reasons, but the main one being is, I'm not going to. Sure, I can, but I'm not going to. And the main one being is this is about practice. I said, if I send you the recording, I promise you'll want to buy everyone's stuff because you're listening to them practice on a particular topic. You think it's about the topic, it's more about the practice, and it's all about the participation, right? The implementation of the information that you're about to receive, right? So you'll receive the information inside a recording, but you watch everybody else implement it. Then you want to buy all of their stuff, but nobody knows who you are. So now they've just sold themselves to you, but you've sold nothing. Like you've not sold any ideas, or they don't even know who you are or what you're doing. So information is great, but implementation becomes the key, like the extra key, the magic key to moving forward. Information is fantastic, but the implementation gives you the action to do it the same time. So personally, I think do the opposite to everybody else on the planet. Get the recording, chuck it up on YouTube. Make it available. And see, you'll put it as a link. Kathy Weaver knows how to do this, where you can just make the recording just available to some people. Just make it private, available to some people for, I don't know, a month or so, and then open it up. But unless you drive traffic to that recording, no one's going to find it. Unless the speaker, see, if the speaker drives traffic to that recording and you give the recording, like the YouTube link, to the speaker, do what you like with it. Share it with whoever you like. Unless they drive traffic to that recording, they're not really utilizing that recording either. That makes it easy for you not to have to send off a big file, right? You just give them a link, right? The speaker can do what they like, but inside their speak, they're advertising you because you're the one that had them on. It's from your channel as well, yeah. Right? And then, you know, say with Tammy's going to put up all her contact. She'll do slides. She'll put up her contact details so anyone can go back and contact Tammy anyway, right? So she'll be encouraging people to go back and contact, because now it's on YouTube. So, oh, I could do that. Oh, the information is just there. So the rest of the world can get the information. But there's more involved in your $20, $22 ticket than listening to the speaker. It's you, it's the group you've pulled together, it's the chat box, it's the permission to contact the people inside the group. It's the implementation, the practice inside the group, and the engagement where they get to physically speak. So if I can make this in a really particular way to like really see it. Have you heard of a singer called Pink? Famous woman, comes from America, right? Right. Well, she comes from Australia. When she does concerts in Australia, she does like 57 concerts in Australia when she comes here, right? And I've been to every single one of her concerts since about 2007, where she's come to Australia. So I've only ever missed one. She probably didn't come here anyway for that one. So I've been to all of her concerts. Now, I own all of her CDs. I own DVDs of her concerts. Now, all of her CDs, well, I own them, so I can listen to her music for free whenever I like. At any one time, even now, even after COVID, at any one time, I can get into the car, put on a radio station and go through, you know, like a pop hits radio station, go through all of that, like the modern stuff. And at any one time, I can go through all of it and she will turn up on one of those channels. Within any drive, she's going to show up. So I can listen to her for free whenever I like. You know, I pay about, I don't know how much I pay for a ticket, about $180 for a ticket every time she comes to Australia. And then I pay over $200, or it costs me over $500 to go to one of her concerts, because I buy the tickets. And then I have to go to Sydney or Melbourne. So I might have to fly or drive there. Then I have to stay in a hotel. I'm going to eat a huge amount of food. I mean, I drink alcohol, and yet I'm still going to buy food and drink there. Then I'm going to buy a T-shirt. I'm going to buy the DVD. Like, I buy all this stuff. It costs hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and yet I already have her stuff for free. I already own it. But the idea of being inside her general space, she doesn't even know who I am, but to be inside her general space and presence and to see her live, that is what I'm paying for, right? So that's what it becomes, say, with the speaker and with your events as well. Sure, I can listen to a recording while I'm doing the dishes or going for a drive. I can listen to it, but it's actually the whole event pulled together. It's every tiny little component that comes with the engagement beforehand. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait for you to be there. I'm looking forward to speaking to you. I'm so glad that you came. What was your take home? Here's the chat box. I encourage you to meet everyone else. Make sure your details go in so that you're, that you're advertising yourself the most you possibly can while you're here. All of that together is what somebody's paying a ticket for. And you are the ringleader. You're the one in charge of the circus. So you are like P.T. Barnum. You're the one pulling everybody together. So even in the movie The Greatest Showman, right? P.T. Barnum went, I don't know if you said it, but P.T. Barnum, he went away on a tour with another woman, really famous singer, right? Opera singer, and went around with her. And he left his circus to Philip, so he's second in charge, to be it. And a huge fight broke out and the whole thing burnt down. And the truth was, they actually went to see him, even though he irritated most of the people in town. They were actually going to see his circus. And so over time, he needed to come in and out until he was able to say the circus belongs to everybody. But initially, they were going to Barnum's circus. So it was important that every now and then he did have to show up. He didn't have to show up all the time, but he'd have to show up. And really, that's you. You're the one pulling together the show, and we actually turn up because you're the leader of the group, and we trust that you will put all these other things in place to teach me how to do the rest of it. So that's, yeah, so I say, don't hand out the recording to the people so much, just check it on YouTube, and you're doing all those other things. So allow everybody the recording of that bit, but it's only the people in the group who bought the ticket that end up with everyone's contact details and the lesson and the implementation and the practice of corresponding with each other.
Now, when you were talking about the getting bums in seats part, and you were saying that, so I would give you my list of people who are coming so that you could contact them and give you a script.
No, you give me not the list that you're contacting, the ones that have bought the tickets. So if I'm speaking, as someone buys a ticket, you go, this person bought, this person bought, and allow me to have that list. Now, it doesn't mean that your speaker is going to be really great and used to doing this, but it does allow them that opportunity, and you get to teach them, go, here's who's already coming. Feel free to send them a quick message to say, I can't wait to be speaking for you. Here, I've even got a script if you like. Can't wait to be speaking for you, and I can't wait to see you at the event. It's when people get, it's easy to get a message from the leader. Hey, here's the link. Can't wait to see you, right? But that by itself doesn't make people turn up. So if you get the same message from two separate people, it's like, wow, somebody else can't wait to see. I mean, Brenda always likes everybody. So that's easy, you know, like I can turn up for Brenda, but you know, who else is going to be there? I've suddenly lost confidence, or something's cropped up and I think I'm just going to let it get in the way. Or the weather's really bad and I've got a cold. It could be anything. I'm sitting home. I only have to turn the screen on, you know. But if a second person is writing, I can't wait for you to come. I'm so excited that you're allowing me the opportunity to speak to you. Oh, the speaker wrote to me personally. Wow. That now becomes very exciting. That's great, right? So the ones that have already bought tickets, and you should share that. Part of for the speaker's spot is they really want the opportunity to know who are they speaking to. So you may as well tell them in advance and see what they can do with that as well. So that encourages more bumps on seats as well. And there might be something
I'm going to write
to
them too.
Sorry?
And then I'm going to write to them too.
Yes. Yes. So not just the automated message of, hey, here's the link, right? It's something else. So here's how I would get bums on seats to events. So before COVID, I was at live events all the time. I didn't do anything on Zoom. And I would run a monthly networking event, and it would be, let's say it was a Tuesday night on, 6 o'clock at night, right? So in summer it's easy, right? People are on their way home from work, they do it. In winter in Canberra, it's very cold. I mean, not Canada cold, but I mean, it's very cold. We would say it's so cold it can't snow. You get all the conditions without the actual snow, and it's like, but it'd be cold, it would be windy, the wind would be coming off the snow from like hundreds of kilometers away, and it would be raining. And the events where I got the most amount of people was on the worst of the worst nights, where it was the coldest, it was the wettest, it was just miserable. And how I would get them there is I would go to my phone, I would go to the weather app, right? And I'd go, okay, and I can pick, Kansas City, it stopped raining. Anyway, I'd go to the weather app, I'd go to my local time, and I would look up, there you go, if you would look there, let's say I was running an event on Thursday or Friday, right? I would write, let's say it was on Thursday, I'd write to them and say, oh, can't wait to see you on Thursday, apparently 50% chance of rain, so bring a jacket and bring an umbrella. Now, and I would do that even like the day before. I'd just say, oh, apparently it's going to be 2 degrees tomorrow night. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. It's going to be 2 degrees, raining, but it's warm inside. So get a warm jacket, bring an umbrella. I can't wait to see you after work, right? And those events, I'd have everyone who was coming come. And they'd say to me, you know what, I wanted to drive straight home, but since you already told me the weather, I really didn't have an excuse. I would have used the excuse that it was the weather and it was cold and I wasn't feeling very well. But since you told me what it was going to be like, I didn't have that excuse anymore because you told me to bring a jacket and umbrella. You know, you told me where to park the car, even if it was going to be warm inside, we'd have fun together. So they said I'd run out of excuses. So it's that little engagement. But they're like, it was neat that you worked out how to get me out. It was neat that you could tell me in advance what the weather was like. You know, it was just, it shows that the person leading is paying attention to their people. And the truth is people will buy a ticket and not come. I can listen to the recording later. Life got in my way. I really wanted to go, but I let life do it. I let the kids be noisy. I let hubby decide that I could do something else. Or I let, you know, my wife, you know, play out a different dinner and I went to that instead, you know. So we can come up with excuses. You know, it's funny, just slightly off track, my eldest turned 12 at the beginning of the week. And one of the kids on the street, I said to him the day before, I said, it's Jack's birthday tomorrow. So straight after school, the boys don't go to school when it's someone's birthday in the house. But, you know, making birthday cake. So come past, we'll have cake with Jack. But then nobody came past. So we ate most of the cake. And then the next day in the morning, as they're all going off to ride, they come over there. This one kid, Zaylen, comes over and he says, you know, oh, you know, what about that cake? And I said, so come over in the afternoon. We've already eaten more than half of it. You weren't here, right? So then all the kids come over in the afternoon, except for the one kid, Zaylen, who kept asking. And then he didn't turn up, he was getting a haircut. So I left him a piece, but then I ate it. And I'm like, dude. And, you know, the neighbours' kids, they said, well, the reason I couldn't come, I said, so I'm listening to all your excuses because you had to jump on the trampoline, then you had to do this and you had to do that. You're the reason you don't have the cake. He goes, these are not excuses. I said, yes, they're reasons, right, as to why you can't be here. But you're the one that missed out on the cake. So we put these crazy, you had to jump on the trampoline. You could have eaten a piece of cake, we're next door, and then go jump the trampoline. Like, but while you've put all these excuses in place, you missed out. And audience does the same thing. We have all the plans in the world at the moment we buy the ticket. And then for a split second somewhere, the audience will lose confidence in themselves and they'll not get themselves there. And as a result, they miss out. You as the leader, your job is to make sure that they get there. So quick little message, haven't met you yet. How did you get a ticket? Like, how did you find us? I'm so excited. There it is, done. So engagement from the leader is fantastic. Leader and speaker, that's what drives traffic.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So where do you think we should start? Which one of your topics?
All right, I'm just going to stop here.